Hey, what's up? This is Thomas Garcia, and you're watching OCML's Artist Spotlight. When I first started really being interested in music, I had to have been maybe 10 or 11 years old, and at the time, like pop punk was very big in Orange County. So stuff like The Offspring, NoFX, all that kind of stuff got me very interested in learning. Like, I want to learn how to pick up a guitar and make these types of sounds. So that was the very first, starting point for me. Yes, actually. So the very first time I picked up an instrument was, I think I was 10 years old. I picked up the viola, actually, and then all through formal school, I played instruments. I did saxophone, trombone, and viola, and then on my own outside of school I picked up guitar, and I learned how to play guitar. I get a lot of inspiration from the rock world, like the rock and alternative world. So early on it was like I referenced before, the more like pop punk kind of stuff, and so I guess it'd be like The Offspring, Sublime, all that stuff. I'm not sure if that's proper mainstream, but I mean, they're big enough artists. And then later on, as I got more and more into music, and as time went on, I got into things like New Order and Radiohead and the more alternative type stuff. Actually, just most recently, I had the opportunity to play at EDC in Las Vegas, and that probably is the most memorable moment for me up to now. Just myself. I do work with a lot of other producers to collaborate on tracks. So my good friend Eric Webb, he goes by Hello Harry. He makes awesome, more like bass music and sort of stuff. My friend Luis Navarro, he goes by Late Night. We make more like just straight up house tracks. So I do a lot of collaborations, but the actual Thomas Garcia name is just myself. I do all my own production. For about a year, I was trying to figure out some sort of a stage name, like a Dead Mouse, or just like in the electronic realm, you have a lot of artists who get stage names or have big branded names, and I couldn't think of anything, or anything that I'd settle on an idea and then get over it in like a month. So I just decided that I was going to go with Thomas Garcia, which is my real name, and kind of just go for the authenticity thing. And I decided to use my own name. I'll do my music making first. So I will usually start off with an idea that just pops into my head. It's usually a beat, and I have learned over the years that when that happens, if I just sit down and as quickly as possible try to get the idea out of my head, I can usually have a fully developed song in about an hour to 2 hours. Not necessarily like it's ready to be exported and put up on SoundCloud, but it's like a fully formed idea. That happens maybe, I don't know, once a month or so. When that doesn't happen, I usually kickstart my creativity. So what I'll do is I'll get a track that I like, that has an element that maybe it's got a great groove or a great bass line or something, and I'll drop it into my Ableton session, and I'll try to make something like it. Like I'll make like 4 or 5 variations of what I liked in that song. Then from there I start to like take it in my own direction and build out my own version of the track. So that's kind of more of a synthetic kind of a way to kickstart creativity that can still lead to like a unique track or idea, but it originated with something else. So that's, if I'm not fully inspired the other way, then I'll go this way, so that at least I'm continuing to write material. I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't looking for some measure of those things, because I obviously want to be able to do music full time. I don't want to have another something else that I'm doing to support myself financially. I want to be able to do this full time for as long as possible. So my vision is, I want to be a big name in the like house music world, but I don't want to necessarily be so big where I'm completely commercial, but I don't want to be too underground to where only like cool people know me. Like, I want to be kind of right in the middle. So yeah, that's kind of the end game for me, and maybe later on dabble in producing behind the scenes for other artists in other genres. But the Thomas Garcia name and brand, you know, my plan is to pretty much take it as far as I can inside the realm of house music. If you're getting into music now, or really any creative thing, is just work on something every day, no matter what. You know, if you have, even if you only have an hour, just sit down and do something. If you're so new that you don't have any of your own ideas, then grab another song that you really like from another artist, drag it into your session, and try to copy it. Like, copy the chords, copy the drum patterns, copy everything, try to match the exact sound that you're hearing, because that's how you learn, you know. And if you do enough of those, then you'll kind of be able to like intuitively flow. I'm on Spotify as Thomas Garcia. That's kind of the big focus for artists right now, where everybody's kind of going with Spotify now. So Spotify. I'm also on SoundCloud at Thomas Garcia Music, and Instagram at Thomas Garcia Music. Thomas Garcia here. Thank you so much for watching.